Welcome. Excuse me. Welcome. Welcome to Unity Center for Spiritual Growth's Midday Facelift. That's the second week in a row. Maybe, I don't know what the connection is. I'm going to feel into that. What is the connection between face and faith? Faith is going beyond face. So let's just take a moment and thank our inner knowing for bringing us to this place where we can choose to focus our attention on the underpinning of all that is, that wholeness, that flowing perfection beyond what it looks like. And so I welcome you and give thanks that you join me in together creating the space for ourselves to, I'm Michael, creating the space for ourselves to choose what we see, choose what we look at, choose what we want to believe in, and allow ourselves the refreshment, the comfort, the nourishment of just being still for a while. And again, choosing to focus our attention on the deepest part of us, the truest part of us. And so I invite you now to close your eyes if you're comfortable, and if not, that's fine too. Center the focus first on the breath. We breathe in and we breathe out. Right now we are focused on our breath and the movement of our breath. And at the same time, we can be grateful that when we turn our focus elsewhere, our breath continues its rhythm. Our breath continues to nourish and cleanse our body. And so, with every breath, let us feel that nourishment. Let us feel on every exhalation that anything that we are holding or that we have taken in and maybe even forgotten about has this opportunity to be released back into the oneness, no longer bound by our thoughts or our bodies. And so we breathe and we open. And as we open, let's allow ourselves to feel into that openness. Feel into it in the breath as our lungs expand. Imagine that expansion moving through our cells, moving through our bloodstream, opening, relaxing. And I invite each of us to feel into wherever the veil is between us as a human being and us as a divine expression of spirit. Where is that veil in us that, however thick or thin it is, filters our human awareness from our divine awareness? And let us just look at that place, that veil, and begin to see the space in it. Begin to see where the human and the divine touch, where the human and the divine flow. And breathe and feel into the wholeness of those places. And let us perhaps begin to feel that veil as a net with spaces, larger spaces, where we can feel into our wholeness more and more. And breathe and feel and allow and believe and accept now, in this moment, the gift of wholeness, of allowing that veil to get more and more thin, more and more open. Allow the possibility of that veil disappearing. Accepting the divine presence in our breath, in our heartbeat, in our muscles, in the marrow of our bones. This does not change what is real. It just allows us to become more aware of it, to become more in partnership with it, to allow it to express. And so in the silence, we allow this process of allowing and accepting and expressing to begin to flow in our consciousness, in our being, in the silence. We are holy. In the silence, we are sacred. In the silence, we are one. And gently now, before we open our eyes, let us just take note of where we are feeling this divine presence, this oneness, this wholeness of our being. Perhaps it's a warmth. Perhaps it's an effervescence. Perhaps it's a feeling of spaciousness. And let us hold the intention as we open our eyes and we begin to integrate our surroundings into this awareness. Let us see from that divine. Let us feel from that eternal presence. As I said, this is not about changing anything except where we focus, where we put our thoughts, where we put our attention. Good afternoon, Michelle. Thank you for joining in this circle of awakening souls, of conscious choice, and of willingness to express from that place. Thank you and blessings, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Namaste.